A few years ago, I was stuck in a job that I hated. I had relationship problems, I was out of shape, and I was stuck in a mindset where I just didn't believe in myself. During that time, I started reading. I read a lot. That was when I started a new chapter in my life of self-improvement. I discovered a way to change my life. I love building systems because it helps me reach my goals in a way that can be repeated so that I can replicate the process when I want to change. And you can too. So this system has 3 rules: the 2-year rule, the 2-day rule, and the 2-minute rule. The 2-year rule states that if you want to build something meaningful, you must stay persistent and not quit for at least 2 years. There's something about 2 years. It's long enough to see meaningful progress, but it's not long enough to sound overwhelming. I think medical schools execute the 2-year rule very well. We spend the first 2 years in the classroom filling our brains with knowledge, then we spend the later 2 years in the hospital seeing that knowledge in action with real patients. Then we graduate, we get our MDs, and then we spend the next 2 years working full-time taking care of patients directly. It's these 2-year increments that take us from knowing nothing to treating patients in a way that's not overwhelming to the point where students are just dropping out of med school by the masses, but also that we can tangibly feel our personal growth and confidence as an up-and-coming doctor. So the point is to take the 2-year rule and apply it to any big goal or any big project that you have. If you want to start a business, despite all the ups and downs, even if it feels hopeless, keep at it for 2 years. If you want to learn the guitar or learn how to code or learn graphic design, stick with it for 2 years and I promise you, it will change your life in some way or another. So when I was stuck in a miserable job, I decided to start a side hustle to explore what other possibilities were out there. That's when I started this YouTube channel. And I made a commitment to do it for at least 2 years. One of the biggest YouTubers, Mr. Beast, said that your first 100 videos are going to be terrible and get no views.
Any of you listening, especially if you have 0 views on your channel, your first video is not going to get views. Period.
So you might as well get them out of the way as fast as you can. So that's what I did. 100 videos. I committed to posting 1 video per week. That's 2 years of never missing a week. But more importantly, being sure to improve something with each new video. I just picked one thing to improve on each time, like maybe trying a new thumbnail style for the next video, or trying a new type of B-roll, or trying to speak with more confidence. Get 1% better every video. And it worked. Less than 2 years later, we hit 100,000 subs and we got our silver play button. But let's say it didn't work. Let's say after 2 years, I still had 0 subscribers, no one was watching, and I made no money whatsoever. Worst case scenario. I still grew as a person. I overcame a lot of limiting beliefs about myself, and I was able to see what kind of grit and perseverance I was capable of. So next is the 2-day rule. It states that if you want to build a new habit, you must not miss it for more than 2 days. I was trying to get in shape. I was skinny, but fat. I had no healthy muscle. And as I was trying to build a habit of consistently going to the gym, I told myself to never miss the gym 2 days in a row. Life happens, we get busy, we miss 1 day, and that's okay, no big deal. But don't miss 2 days in a row. This 2-day rule helped me build healthy habits, but the opposite was also true. Because without the 2-day rule, you can easily slip into unhealthy habits. For example, if I cave in and eat an entire pint of ice cream one night, which I did once, breakups are hard. I'm not proud of it, I admit I messed up, but for 1 day. And you know what? I forgave myself, and I made the commitment to not let it happen for 2 days in a row. When we're trying to improve ourselves, the biggest deciding factor of success is how we react to failure. When you mess up for a day, do you beat yourself up over it, or do you accept that you're an imperfect human being and you get up and you keep going? In my medical career, I've helped a decent amount of patients quit smoking. And I think one of the biggest light bulb moments for them is when they realize that quitting smoking is not a one-time decision. It's not a linear path. You don't just quit and never have to worry about smoking ever again. Quitting any bad habit is a decision that we make on a daily basis. Every day you wake up, you have to intentionally make the decision that you will continue to not smoke. And maybe you're going strong and you haven't had a cigarette for 5 years, and then you go on vacation with some old friends and you slip up and then you have a smoke. It's no big deal. But tomorrow, make the decision to continue quitting. Follow the 2-day rule and not smoke 2 days in a row. So I applied this to all the habits that I was trying to adopt in my life. Don't go for 2 days in a row without exercising. Don't go for 2 days in a row without reading for half an hour. Don't go for 2 days in a row without telling your significant other that you love them. And the same goes for trying to break bad habits. Don't waste your morning sleeping in for 2 days in a row. Don't order unhealthy takeout food for 2 days in a row. Don't drink alcohol for 2 days in a row. Messing up for 1 day is just an accident, but messing up for 2 days in a row, that's the start of a new bad habit. The third rule is the 2-minute rule, which states that when you're trying to build a new habit, break it down into something that takes only 2 minutes to do. So if you want to get in the habit of jogging daily, that becomes just putting on your shoes every morning. Getting in a habit of daily studying becomes just sitting down at your desk and opening your book every day. The point of the 2-minute rule is to help you overcome the friction of doing the habit. But the underrated trick to the 2-minute rule that people forget to talk about is that you can limit yourself to only 2 minutes. When I was trying to build a habit of reading daily for an hour, I initially limited myself to just 2 minutes a day. I'd sit down, open my book, and read for 2 minutes. Then I'd stop, close my book, and I'd go and do something else. At first, this felt so unproductive. Like, why only do it for 2 minutes? Like, what a waste of time. But I stuck with it. And over time, I started identifying myself as a person who read consistently. Even if it was just for 2 minutes, I was mastering the habit of just showing up. If I can't become a person who reads for just 2 minutes a day, then I'd never be able to become the person who reads for an hour a day. If you want to be successful at anything in life, the only things that you really need are practice, persistence, and patience. That's the 2-minute rule, the 2-day rule, and the 2-year rule. Okay, so there's another 2-minute rule. It's a second 2-minute rule that really helped me with procrastination, and I talk about it in this 2-minute video. It's one of my favorite videos on this channel. Don't put it on your watch later list. You're already on a roll. Go check it out.